In the Twilight Oasis Fractal, your party can praise Choco and defeat a powerful Priestess. I'm Summer, and here's a detailed guide through the Fractal. At the beginning, try to bypass the mobs on your way to the first Sandbinder by either stealthing past or simply running. Utilize boons like Swiftness, Super Speed and the Executioner's X-Toy to quickly reach the Sandbinder. Approach each Sandbinder as if it were a stationary boss and attack accordingly. Be aware that pull abilities can interrupt any ongoing attacks. Avoid the tornadoes as they can control your character and inflict blindness. Aegis won't be effective as the tornadoes can dispel it quickly. Next you will face Priestess Amala for the first time. Bring her down to 75%, but she will wipe your party afterward. She performs a side/slash attack, which causes knockback, and has a basic 9-part attack chain that applies bleeding with each AoE. After the roleplay begins, you can use /GG to reset cooldowns, but won't be able to move your character until Choco resurrects Amala, or if your character is a female human, which is obviously considered the optimal choice. Now that you've awakened, you have access to a special action skill that propels you high into the air and breaks stun. There's no cooldown when out of combat, so try to avoid engaging in fights during your skips if you can. This skill also allows you to jump while casting any stationary skill such as Meteor Shower, as long as you don't move in any direction. Jump up to the roof on the right side and defeat 2 Sandbinders there. The first one is a duplicate of the initial Sandbinder you faced, while the second one uses Dwayna's Lightning Storm. Make sure to strafe sideways to avoid it. You can also bypass the tornado between the 2 Sandbinders using a portal skip. Keep in mind that you can't use /GG after defeating any Sandbinder, as it will spawn you behind the ideal checkpoints. Now you face Priestess Amala again. Bring boon strips as she reapplies protection on herself every few seconds. Stack boons and be prepared to dodge the initial knockback once the encounter begins. The following attacks and mechanics stay throughout the whole fight. Break bars will activate at 85%, 65%, 45%, 25% and 5% health. Amala will interrupt any ability and teleport to the center. If you don't break her bar, she will deal significant damage to the team and regain health. The side/slash attack creates a small AoE attack around Amala that knockbacks players caught in it. Below 85% health, she also starts doing a 9-part attack chain that deals AoE damage in a fixed pattern, depending on the current god's influence. Furthermore, she does an attack that is indicated by a small AoE on the ground that erupts into a large shockwave after 2.5 seconds. You can avoid it by dodging, blocking or using the special action key. Until 85% health, Amala is in her Lyssa form. First, determine which of the clones is the real Amala and ping her location for your teammates. Here are a few clues to help you identify her. Amala is the only enemy with legendary rank, the other clones are all above level 80. She uses side/slash when someone is in melee range. When she activates her Moa signet, the Signet of Humility icon will appear above her. The player targeted by the Moa signet should press the special action key or move away from the group as soon as it completes to prevent others from being transformed. Once Amala drops below 95% health, she will start teleporting around and creating new clones. Use the change target key, usually your tab key, to automatically focus on her if she's in your line of sight. Cautious of the purple portals on the ground to avoid being teleported in the air. Break Amala's Defiance bar to advance to the next phase. Amala will become invulnerable and leave behind the Priestess of Lyssa, who also uses the purple portals and Moa signet to take her down quickly to minimize the high enrage damage from her clones. Until 65% health, Amala is in a Melandru form. The main threat during this phase is the Earth Elemental, which has various control effects that it applies in AoE attacks. While it's possible to kill it, this isn't the most effective strategy. Instead, you can have the player it's fixated on move away from the party stack or use blocks and evades to dodge its attacks. Keep in mind that its boulder throw projectile can be reflected. During this phase, Amala's side combo AoE will apply a small knockback, but many can be avoided by stacking directly on her. Be sure to dodge the Eruption, a delayed AoE that appears beneath random players, and the ring-shaped attacks as they can cause knockdown as well. Break Amala's Defiance bar to advance to the next phase. Amala will become invulnerable and leave behind a Priestess of Melandru. This Priestess will cast a rectangular AoE between herself and Amala, so avoid running through it to prevent being knocked back from her alcove. She will also use Avatar of Melandru to gain stability and inflict Immobilize. Like Amala, 2 smaller Earth Elementals will spawn to protect her. Until 45% health, Amala is in her Dwayna form. Throughout this phase, Amala will periodically gain Swiftness, Aegis, Protection and Might 10 stacks, with 1 application every 10 seconds. Additionally, all party members will receive the Determination buff. If you defeat the Priestess of Dwayna, everyone in party will be revived. During this phase, Amala's side combo AoE will inflict a brief daze and apply a stack of bleeding. There are more attacks that occur directly on top of Amala in this phase, but there is less incoming crowd control, making it easier to heal through them. However, the group will still need to spread out during the Lightning Storm attack, as it cannot be blocked by H's. Once Amala's health drops to 60%, she will begin summoning 5 tornadoes. Similar to those summoned by the Sandbinders, these will pull players toward their center, dealing damage and applying blinded to anyone caught in their AoE. Take Amala's Defiance bar to advance to the next phase. Amala will become invulnerable and leave behind the Priestess of Dwayna. The Priestess of Dwayna has a single attack that cannot be interrupted, a different version of the Lightning Strikes attack. Unlike Amala's strikes, these will land randomly, so it's best to stay near the edge of the alcove to minimize the chance of being hit. Additionally, be aware that when engaged, the Priestess gains resolution, protection and regeneration. Under 25% health, Amala is in her Grenth form. During this phase, Amala will periodically gain swiftness and might, 15 stacks, while her side attack chain inflicts poison, torment and shield. This phase can largely be stacked and DPS'd through, as it features very little crowd control. However, the primary threat is the Claim Soul attack, which is marked by a small orange AoE. This attack is unblockable and will instantly put you in a down state. When Amala reaches 40%, she will summon spectral walls that confine you to the center. Touching these walls will cause you to be feared away from Amala. You can jump over them using your special action key. Break Amala's Defiance bar to advance to the next phase. Amala will become invulnerable and leave behind the Priestess of Grenth. This Priestess will inflict bleeding, cripple, poison, torment and shield, but she shouldn't be difficult to defeat. Until the end, Amala is in her Balthazar form. During this phase, Amala will periodically gain protection, swiftness and might 10 stacks. While most of her attacks can be healed through, some are particularly devastating due to their large telegraphs, such as Meteor Strike and Wings of Rage. Make sure to reposition yourself to avoid these AoEs when necessary. Avoid trying to tank her fire arrows, which are indicated by a circle AoE above her, with arrows pointing outwards, as these can deal significant damage with each subsequent arrow AoE. Break Amala's Defiance bar to advance to the next phase. Amala will become invulnerable and leave behind the Priestess of Balthazar. This Priestess doesn't pose much of a threat aside from summoning small meteors that stun and apply burning and weakness upon impact. Her life is connected to the 4 veteran Sunspear warriors that flank her, so control them with crowd control and eliminate them to defeat the Priestess. At 5% health, Amala will continue using all the attacks from the Balthazar phase along with additional small meteors striking the surrounding area. Finish her off to successfully complete the Fractal. I hope you found this quick guide useful. If you did, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more guides in this series and much more, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.